save me when he takes me. Mind over matter, gave it all to him.
Shalom, I praise to the Most High. I am now doing this family persecution topic that the sisters voted for. I praise to the Most High. Shout out to the sisters that voted on this topic. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go into it. I am gonna play just a little bit of like spa music to set the tone, to set the vibe. Hopefully it don't, overshadow my voice, which I put it a little bit low, and hopefully it's a vibe this time. I'm in my closet, what I call my prayer closet. Shout out to my mom. She got me that little candle lamp light looking thing right there. Love it. It just sets the tone. But yep, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I praise to the Most High. I'm very excited for this topic because I feel like a lot of us can struggle with this, and I feel like especially for the sisters that's coming into the truth, or that's in the beginning stages especially. I love always talking to the sisters that's first to come in the truth, because I feel like that's where I struggle the most. And I feel in the world, unfortunately, but I praise the Most High. He have mercy and grace on me, y'all. I literally just posted a video on my shorts. If y'all haven't go watch it, okay? And it's about embracing your natural hair. And I looked at some of I had to pull some old photos up, and I was sitting there and I was reflecting. I was like, man, the Most High brought me so freaking far, so far. And the people that know me personally always tell me this all the time. They're like, like the light, and everything. Like, I don't know, like sometimes I be wanting to cry. Like, I was literally like thinking the Most High upon my bed. I'm like, man, thank you so much for having mercy and grace upon me and saving me, because you did not have to. And according to the law, when you read the law, you're supposed to be. But all praise to the Most High for Christ. Let's just give a huge shout out to Christ right now. Thank Christ that he died for us, because if it had not been for him and his blood, we would not be here. So all praises to the Most High, like literally. But anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and dive into it, and I'm gonna talk about Joseph real quick. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and give like a little brief story of Joseph. So if you guys want to read about that, read Genesis 37 and 11. If y'all see me looking down, I'm looking at my journal, y'all. But yes, if y'all want to read upon that, please do, okay? If y'all going through, being offered up by your own people into certain things, definitely read the book of Joseph. I'm not the book, girl, what? Read the story of Joseph. This is real raw and uncut. Okay, I'll praise it. Okay, so anyway, so Joseph was a favorite brother out of all his brothers. And he had a rainbow coat. Many of you know this story. And he also had a dream, and his father had favor upon him, and his brothers envied that, and they offered him up, and they tried to kill him, but he got enslaved by the Egyptians. But he also ended up being like I can't remember what part in the house, but he was like a lead, kind of like a leader in a sense. And his brothers ended up having to come down to where Joseph was to get food, because they had a famine. But they didn't even notice that was Joseph. He became unrecognizable. And sometimes that's how it will be when the Most High brings you out of the world. You will become unrecognizable to your own family, and you may have to serve them even though they offered you up. So don't get discouraged when you go through family persecutions, because even in the world, if you really want to be serious, y'all ever notice with our people that during cookouts and stuff like that, everybody be fighting. It's always that messy auntie. It's even in the world. So it's like, really choose your pick. You're gonna go through family persecutions regardless. You're gonna have vain opinions about your life regardless. So you might as well stay strong and enduring this truth than rather go back in the world. And I know people personally that have went back into the world because of just so many weights of just worldly family members or worldly friends or whatever the case, and it just really got to them. So if I could tell anybody, don't go back in the world because of the cons in this truth. And that's why I love to talk about the pros and the cons in this truth, because if sisters are not prepared for the cons, then you're gonna get freaked out and paranoid, and you might fall back into the world because you're not. It's like you feel like you see everybody else in truth, and it looks like a peaches and cream thing, and we don't go through nothing. Yes, we go through things. We do. Some things hurt, some things don't feel so good, but guess what? it is worth it in the end, okay? I promise you. Just hold on a little bit more tighter. Keep holding on to the Most High. Everything will be okay. I'm telling you. Big hug, sis. Okay? All right? But anyway, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get the first verse. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 10 says, "Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteous sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So when you are getting persecuted, blessed are you, because guess what? Lord's willing, if you make it to the kingdom, that is yours. If you endure through that persecution, it is yours. If you're enduring through that affliction, it is yours, Lord's willing. So don't be weak in the time of trouble. Don't be weak when you hear bickering. Don't be weak when you get offered, if you may get offered up in Jacob's trouble. Because things happen. But guess what? Christ went through it way worse. He definitely went through it way worse. So always remember that. So now we're gonna go to John 3:16, and it basically states that we're not greater than our master. So if Christ went through it, just know that we might go through it too. And I know everybody has a different lot, but Christ was a perfect man, and we're imperfect. So how much more are we though? So always keep that in mind. And get into the few topics. First of all, that I also want to state this real quick, that the enemies will be in your own household. So meaning, just because you grew up with these people, you grew up with your family members, you grew up with your sisters, your blood brothers and sisters, does not mean that they cannot be your enemy. Because the Bible speaks of this, that the enemies will be in your own household. So do not think it's strange. I love that verse when it says, do not think it's strange. And also I love that verse that these things are written for our learning. So just for example, when I used Joseph, for example, these things are written for our learning, so we can go back and read them and reflect on them. So we can be like, okay, my people went through this in the Bible. So now I can look at their example, how they got through it to get out of how I feel right now, and how to combat and overcome them. Okay, so I just want to state that first of all. And though your parents and your family forsake you, guess who will not forsake you? Let's go ahead and get it. So we're going to go to Psalms 27, verse 10. And this is so beautiful. I remember one day when I was in the midst of sin, y'all. I'm telling y'all, when I was in the midst of sin, one night I woke up with this chapter heavy on my heart. It's like the Lord was speaking to me when I got up, and I had no choice but to get up and read it. And when I read this whole chapter, all I could do was cry. I know my own personal reasons of why he gave me it, but all I could say is read that whole chapter. But one of the verses that I wanted to get was Psalm 27:10. Psalm 27:10 says, "When my father and my mother have forsaken me, then the Lord will take me up. He will put you in his wing. He will cover you. He will love you." Okay, he is a righteous father, and he knows everything you need. Although our parents are our earthly parents, but there is no God like the Most High that knows us so much the way that he does. Even our own parents don't even know us the way that the Father does. Like, he knows everything. The Bible says that he knows every hair on your head. So how much more? We're more than the sparrows, so how much more? Okay? And I know a lot of the times too, within our own people's homes, like, you know, the so-called African Americans, and Native Americans, and the Mexicans and the Hispanics, that a lot of the times most of our parents aren't present as much. Some of them are all out in the street. Some of them are on drugs. Some of them deal with childhood trauma, and they don't want to be parents. Some people put their children out early. Our people go through a lot, and I think first of all we got to remember that in Deuteronomy 28, these are one of the curses. So we also have to remember that these curses are true. And I think that's what helps a lot, is because you realize that this Bible is so cold. Because if it had not spoken these things, and it had not come to pass, how would you know the Bible is true? But we got Isaiah right now. We got Isaiah 49:15 says, "Can a woman forget her sucking child that should not have compassion on her son of her womb, yeah, they may forget, yet I will not forget thee. So the Most High is saying, even though your mother, and that can be in simpler terms, that can be multifold, but even though your mother may forget to supply your needs, your father may forget to supply your needs, the Most High God, guess what? He will never forget you. He will never, ever, ever, ever forget you. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get another verse. This is going to be Psalms 86. Slakia 68 verse 5. And it states, a father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. Right? So the Most High is a father to the fatherless. The people that don't have no father. The Most High don't play about, I can't remember what verse it is, but the Most High doesn't play about the men that treat women horribly, that's single mothers. He really cared for us women that are, women that are single mothers, that, don't have a way to feed their children, that don't have a way to take care of their children. He's the father to the fatherless, the people that don't have a father. He's there for you, okay? I know personally, I didn't have a present father. But guess what? I have a father, a heavenly father that cannot match the father that I have. I love my earthly father. He had his own circumstances why he at where he's at now. But I forgive him. I still love him, and I put it past me, and I rely on the Father. The Most High has always kept me strong, regardless of my childhood. I didn't have no present father. But I don't think I ever really took it like that personal, because my mom made it feel like everything was straight, which she did. Like, I didn't have to question. But also it's very important for the men to be in the household for multiple reasons, but that's a topic for a different day. So now I'm going to go ahead and talk about vain opinions in your life. So sometimes family will have opinions about your so-called religion. They may have opinions on your choices that you make. They may have opinions on your marriage. And I'm talking about when you're an adult, when you're older. I'm not talking about when you're younger. Of course, honor your parents. That's one of the commandments, is to honor your father and your mother. Even when you get older, yes. But as far as like when it's you making your own decisions, you have to realize that you're an adult and you can think like an adult, okay? It is okay to make your own decisions. Sometimes family may persecute you because you didn't turn out how they wanted you to be, or how they wanted you to go to college. They wanted you to have this certificate. They wanted you, I don't know, I don't know. But I have this book right here called The Lethem Theory. I have recommended this book to a lot of sisters. But most importantly, I just want to go ahead and get into one of the chapters that I read, y'all. It's so freaking good, okay? All right? So, I'm going to go ahead and read it. So, it says, family has had opinions about you since you were born. They have known you the longest. They feel entitled to their opinions because they think they know what's best for you, which is typically also what feels best for them. Plus, everyone in your family has expectations about each other and the way that the family should operate. These familial relationships cut deeper than the rest because you have known them for so long and such a long time. And these relationships form an interconnected system, which also explains why your family tends to react more dramatically to any change that you make, because you are part of the family system. Any change that you make will send either positive or negative waves through their entire system. Knowing that people will have reactions because you're part of an interlocked web relationship that has been in place for generational can help you navigate this better. So she's basically stating, like, sometimes your family may have a view of you, or some people in your family, period, of y'all, wherever, if y'all find y'all are into like family traditions and you come out of those traditions, And then it's like, dang, I thought she was gonna stay in this forever. And it's like when you come out of that, it's kind of like you're looked at as weird, you're doing too much, or like, why are you doing that? Like, is something wrong with her? Like, they're allowed to have their opinions, but if you are trying to fully serve the Most High, it doesn't matter what your family has to say, okay? So now I want to go down to this other part where she was like, for example, if you decide to get, I ain't gonna talk about that because I don't agree with that. But let me go a little bit more down. Okay, so are you no longer want to follow the same traditions, or you marry someone outside of your religion, or you pursue a unique career path, or you have different political beliefs, this will send shockwaves through your entire family system because it disrupts everybody's expectations and beliefs about you and who you are and how you should live your life. And that's okay, because guess what? They can have their opinions. This book is called Let Them, and the whole thing is about letting them. So what? They have opinions about your marriage. So what? They have opinions about your religion or traditions or the feast days that you keep. So what? They have an opinion about the way that you talk, the way that you dress, the way that you always read in your Bible, the way that you don't keep not holy days, but holidays in this world, that you no longer eat abominable food. So what? Let them. And the more that you put that in your mind, let them. It's okay for them to have opinions, but I don't have to let those opinions get to me. Okay? Let me read this other part. It says, don't try to change their opinion. Give them the freedom to have it, whether it's your stepkids, your sister-in-law, your grandmother, your brother. They're allowed to think whatever they want, and they even have to they have the ability to not even like you or the person you love. So let them choose the way that they want to respond. She also later down kind of use an example of, I might actually post these on my feed because I don't want to be long-winded in this video because I have so many verses and stuff that I want to go over. But I'm gonna also put, so y'all go look on my feed. I'll be posting stuff on my feed, and I'm gonna post all of the little highlights that I was talking about because all of that is so good. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna touch on everything, but I don't want to be long-winded. But basically, she talked about how she was marrying this guy that she was so in love with, but her mom did not like the guy at all. Like, she was just like, this is not the man that I wanted for you. But she was so in love with him. And she just said, you know what? She let her. But she also realized that her mom went through a trauma as well when she was younger. And that's why she feel like that she brought her trauma from her past upon her. So she had grace and mercy, and she was later down talking about in the chapter to have grace and mercy upon your family members, because at the end of the day, sometimes a lot of our parents or a lot of our grandmothers or grandpas or whatever the case may have been carrying trauma or generational curses along the line, and they're projecting it on their kids. But somebody is gonna have to be the one to break it. All right, so now I want to go into I already went into generational curses. I praise the Most High. I was just talking about that. Generational curses. Listen. I'm talking to you. You're talking to me. We're talking to each other. Generational curses ain't no joke. It's not for the weak to break. And you may be the one in your family that the Most High woke up to break these curses. And it's going to feel like a living hell maybe put on your back. You may be feeling like you literally carrying everybody on your family on your back, because he decided to use you as a vessel to wake your family up. But one of the things that I want to say right now is, when you warn your family about the truth according to the Bible, and they do not want to listen, and you talk to them multiple times, the blood is off of your hands. I can't remember. I want to say that Christ told the disciples when they were going into certain towns or certain areas to take the dust off your feet. If they don't want to listen, they don't want to listen. The blood is off your hands. It's up to you to plant the seed, and it's up to the Father to let the seed to grow. But do not be hurt by it. Do not get in your feelings about it. Do not be stuck in one area about it because they're not listening. Because at the end of the day, it's not about them not listening to you. It's about them rejecting the truth. And it makes sense because, like, I was in that area too. You know, when my best friend, she told me about it, I looked at her like she was crazy. And then it resonated with me that this is the truth. Like, for a while, like, until her mom sat me down and they had a good talk with me, I took all that in. It may sound crazy to them, and you gotta have grace and mercy upon them because it sounded crazy to you too first. And then you started, you know, following the truth. And then you starting to put that thing into action. But also, I want you to not be hurt, because I used to do this. Feeling hurt, feeling down, thinking about, like, constant things, what could happen. But guess what? You're not in control. So release the control, take the dust off your feet, and continue to do your work. To continue to be the light that you are. And if it's the Most High's willing that they come into the truth, it's His willing. But you have to focus on your salvation. All right, now we're going to talk about evil spirits that is in them that wants to bring you down. So sometimes, not all the time, but some of you may deal with parents or family members in your household or outside of your household. Say y'all gathered together or something, and it's always that one auntie. For some reason, it's always that one messy auntie in the family. Girl, I don't know why she acting like that, because she was just eating pork last year. She was just eating that. She don't want to touch none of the hot dogs at the cookout. She only want to touch the potato salad. Now she don't even talk about she want to eat the pork and beans, because now I done put a little bit of hot dogs in it, but it's not even that serious. She can really just eat around it. I really don't want her coming no more, because she gonna do all this. I'm paying all this money to get this food, and she don't even want to eat it, because she talk about she don't eat pork. Girl, you was just eating pork the last year. It's okay. Have your boundaries. Separate yourself. If that's the case, separate. Pray for them, because at the end of the day, you can't please them. This is about your salvation and your eternal life, okay? And sometimes evil spirits like that will hop on somebody and be like, wait a minute, you was not like this a year ago, and now you're doing this? What happened to you? This is not my niece. I don't want to be around her no more. This don't make no sense. She was just, you gonna get that. Listen, you're gonna get that. You may get that. I'm gonna say you're gonna get that. You may get that, because I know everybody's life is different. Some people, their family hearken to the truth automatically once you're in the truth too. So I want to say some people. So when evil spirit hop on somebody, you don't take it personal. Do not take it personal, and you keep working on you. Okay, you keep loving on you, and you keep loving the Most High's word over what anybody say. Like the verse says, I want to say it's in John, that he that loves his father or his mother more than me is not worthy of me. So if you love their vain opinions of you more than this truth, deciphering if you're going to keep the truth, stay in the truth or not because of what they're saying about you, then that means that you love them more than you love the Father. Okay, so keep that in mind. You know, I know it's not an easy thing, and it's not a light thing, but you have to practice it. If it really bothers you and you're really intimidated by people's opinions about your walk, then you have to bring that to the Father. Because, like, you really rather put away your sins and work on the things that the Father is telling us to keep now than being judged for it. So, now we're going to go into what it costs to be chosen, the one to make it out. So when you're the one that may be the one that makes it out of the family, you're the only person in the truth. Like I said, you're carrying a lot of generational curses that you may have to break. So it may be tougher on you, and it may not feel so fun, like, because it's like, dang, like, I don't have nobody to talk to. If I at least had that one person in the truth in my family, maybe this will be easier. But you have the Father, okay? You have people that you can come together with. You know, I know every once in a year they have a Fringe Fest, you know, feast days. We got the feast days coming. So many things that you could do to gather amongst like-minded people. You don't always have to be alone all the time. There's so many righteous Israelite gatherings that you could go to in righteousness, but to be the one that makes it out of the family, the chosen one. Some people in your family may despise it and trying to dim your light by saying things about you, by secretly trying to do things behind your back to bring downfall on you because you're the one to make it out. And it's like, I don't understand why some family members do that, because you just don't know that this person that the Most High is using in your family, be grateful that he's using that person, because now y'all have a leverage to use, like dang, like at least he used somebody so that way everybody else can wake up. But for some reason, some family members do this thing where they hate the person that is, being chosen by the Most High to be able to speak to their family and the other people, sisters or siblings, that this is what the Most High revealed to you. And some people don't want to take advantage of that he's using somebody in the family. Instead, they covet, or instead they say things to bring blame against you, to dim your light. Forsaking family traditions. And I'm talking about holidays. I don't keep saying holy days because that's what I know to keep, okay? Period. But some of them may feel a way when you forsake their traditions. So one of the things that I will say that I didn't understand, I'm telling you as a big sis, because anything that I go through, I try to make lessons on, so that way you guys can't make the same mistakes, especially coming into the truth, because I wish somebody would have talked to me about these things. So one of the things that I used to fall into very badly is traditions, holidays. When I first started in the truth, I didn't know, and I wasn't educated that you couldn't eat the food. I used to think that if you know subconsciously that we don't keep Easter, we don't keep, Thanksgiving, we don't keep all these other holidays, but, we still eat the food. And it's like, no, even if you're not going to the gathering, you just get the food and sneak off and go in your room, it doesn't matter. It's like the food is being offered. They don't know it unknowingly, but the food that they're making on those holidays is being offered up to another god. I can't remember where that was. I want to say that might be in Isaiah, but like I might put it on the screen so you guys can go back and read it. But the Most High said he hate the sacrifices that you make to other gods. Like, he doesn't play about that. One of the other greatest commandments is do not put any other gods before him. Don't have no idols before him. We're not supposed to be serving no other gods. That's why the Most High's chosen people is in the predicament that they're in now, is because they're serving other gods unknowingly or doing it on purpose. We have holy days that are sacred that is already in the Bible, like Passover, first fruits, Purim. We have so many things that we can do. And Satan, what he does, he likes to mimic what the Most High does. So he came up with holidays. Man came up with holidays. There's nowhere in the Bible you can read about Thanksgiving. And I'm not talking about give the Lord thanks. No, Thanksgiving, he's talking about gratitude and giving thanks to him. Because some people may try to, say Thanksgiving. No, it don't. Just stop trying to justify wickedness. That's what's wrong with us now. A lot of us try to justify wickedness. The Bible never said celebrate Christmas. The Bible never said that Christ's birthday was on December 25th. Like, it just don't. Okay, do your research, or send your family, if they're willing to listen to the truth, send them videos. Like, if you know you're not studied enough or well enough, send them videos of where Christmas originate from. You can even start off with the simplest things to show them, hey, no, this is wrong. Like, I know that you think this because I used to think this too. But if they don't want to listen, they persecute you, that is okay. Okay? So now, I want to go back to when I was talking about the parents forsaking you or family members forsaking you. And I want to get James 1:27 now. So hopefully this is edifying, y'all. I know, like I said, I know that it gets tough sometimes in this truth, but it's also beautiful. I'm telling you, like, I would never ever want to go back into the world ever, because like like I said before, I know I stated in one of my videos, the peace that I have now, the joy that I have now, is uncomparable to the wicked woman that I used to be, the woman that I didn't think that I could be right now. So, you know, just endure and keep focusing on the Father. He'll bring you out of that fire. You won't even smell like smoke. You won't even be burnt in the midst of the fire. Just like the three brothers. The three brothers that was in Daniel, you know, they was put in the fire. None of their clothes was burnt. They didn't even smell like smoke. Okay? So wait, why is it going back to Psalms? Slakia, y'all. So, alright, so it says, pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this: to visit the fatherless and the widows in their affliction and keep himself unspotted from the world. So like I said, the Most High doesn't play about the widows and the fatherless. You know, he'll take you in, you know, even if you don't have that motherly relationship or that fatherly relationship. Go to the Father and seek it in him, because I promise you, like, all of the cares that you had from that, you know, whatever you went through, I know everybody, like I said, everybody's life is different, but when you find that peace and that love, you know, in the Most High, I promise you it'll all fall away. I promise you. It takes time, but it will. Okay? So this is Deuteronomy 10 and 18. It says, in his own will begot he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. And now we're going to go to Luke 12 and 53. And it states, and the father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, and the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, and the mother-in-law against the daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. So just to into simpler terms, that some of us may be you know, against, we all may be against each other, because like the Bible says that the enemies will be in our own household. So the Lord will it'll happen in his own timing, but some of us may be divided amongst our own people. And that's why the Most High says and stated, like I said before, that whoever loves their father more and mother more than me, or anybody in general, is not worthy of him. We have to take up our cross, and we have to love the Most High more than we love anything, more than we love people's opinions about us, whatever the case may be. You know, whoever wants to leave us, who don't want to be our friend no more, who don't want to be our auntie, our brother, our blood sister anymore, that is okay, because guess what? The Most High is not a man that he shall lie. A lot of us lie, okay? I ain't gonna sit here and say that I don't lie at all, because I'm an imperfect human being. So you can't even have reliancy on me. The only person that you can have reliancy on is the Father, because he's a man that he shall never lie. Don't rely on me. Don't rely on your parents. Do not rely on your family members. Rely on him, and he will guide your paths straight. Okay? I want you guys to remember that. If y'all don't take anything else from this video, rely on the Father, and he will guide you. I promise you, because you are not going to be able to make it if you do not rely on the Father. If you do not grip like how that lady gripped onto the Messiah's garment, you got to grip onto his garment and have faith. Have faith that he'll heal you from all the unspoken things that you are going through as a sister. Okay, that you're going through, that you feel that like I can't do this no more. I don't want to do this no more. It's too tough. I'm about to cry. Okay. Cause I feel you, sis, and I understand you, because I've been there. Or I feel like, man, I don't want to. Like I said, I went into the world. If y'all want a story time, and I'm really thinking about doing a story time. There's so many topics that I want to dive into, y'all. Because that's the beautiful thing about going through things, because now you can be a testimony and a light to sisters. Okay, so when you go through things, do not despise it, because the Most High may be using you to be a vessel to help somebody else. So do not fight the fire. Go through it. Go through that uncomfortableness, because you could literally be saving somebody. Okay, but now I want to go into how you overcome. I'm gonna get like 3 verses. I wrote some other verses and I'll put them all on the screen because, like I said, I don't want to be long-winded. I already feel like this video is almost an hour probably. But now let's go to John 14:27. And it says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, okay? Not as nobody else giving, not as the world, not as these carnal things giveth, but I give unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, nor let it be afraid, okay? You're gonna have troubles and things in this world. It's already stated. But you have peace in who? You have peace in the Messiah and you have peace in the Most High, okay? Those two people will never leave you nor forsake you. Remember, and I always tell myself this, you are the one who left. The Most High never left. He never steered you wrong. You are the one who separated yourself from that vine. You're the one who moved. So, and if you have forsaken your Father, forsaking your first love, I want to say that's in Revelations. When you forsake your first love, you gotta attach back to Him, girl. Okay, and don't leave His side. Now I'm gonna go to Romans chapter 15, verse 4. And it says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that though patience and comfort of the scriptures we might have hope. This is how we have hope. This is how we're gonna be able to make it by. This Bible is how you're going to be able to make it. This Bible is how you're going to be able to stay sane. But if you're not reading it, you're not going to be able to make it through this life. Because then, who are you relying on? This is how I'm able to obtain faith. It's when I open up my Bible. Okay? Now we're going to go to Hebrews 12:6. And it says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth, and it scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So, listen, if you being chastised, you being talked about so bad, so dirty, guess what? The Lord loves you because He sees you fit to go through it. He sees you fit to be persecuted by family members. He sees you fit to be the odd one out of your family. He sees you fit. It's not about if Samaria sees herself fit, if you see yourself fit. It's about if the Father sees you fit to go through it. Okay? It's not about how you feel, but it's about how the Father is using you as a vessel. It's not fun to be put through the fire, and I'm not ever saying that it is fun to be put through that fire. But guess what? Who sees you fit? Who sees you more than you see yourself? Like, a lot of times, a lot of people in the Bible, when they're about to be used by the Father, or they're about to be a king, they always had an excuse as to why. Some of them had an excuse as to why they didn't want to do what they wanted to do. But they didn't realize that the Father sees beyond what they see. The Father has thoughts higher than our thoughts, and His ways is better than our ways. So it's like, how can you tell a Father that made you, that created you, that knew you before the womb, that knows you better than you know? Do you know every single hair that's on your head right now? Because I don't. So that means that you can't even rely on yourself. You have to rely on His Bible. You have to rely on the Father, because He, like I said, He's not a man that He shall lie. So now we're at Matthew 5:44, and I'm going to go into the topic now. Fight with love and not hate. So the last topic I just talked about was how to overcome. Like I said, I'll put the verses on there, so don't worry. All right, so it says, but I say unto you, love your enemies, bless those that curse you, and do good to them that hate you, and pray for them who despitefully use you and persecute you. Okay, so this is how you fight back. You do not fight back by saying, girl, like, what's up? Like, we can go outside. Like, you know where I be at. Like, you know what's popping. Like, girl, you know who I used to be. You already know how I get down. Just because I'm in the truth, don't let that fool you. Just because I love the Lord, don't let that fool you. All just aside, like, No, this is no. Okay, like, we are righteous, holy, and set apart people. The things that we used to do, we cannot do no more. Okay, we can't lash back no more. We can't say things about people anymore. We have to give that to the Father, because guess whose vigilance is better than ours? The Father. And I'm telling you, like a big sis right now, when I tell you I've learned the best way is to let the Father deal with it. I'm not kidding. I have seen it my own self. The people that play with me, that play with my life, that did things to me, I promise you the Lord spent the block on him. Like the block, it just spent the block. Okay, like, I'm not playing. Like, the Lord does not play about his children. And if you think that you're going to get away from playing with the Most High's children, the ones that's really trying to serve the Lord, I think that that's a verse that it's better for a person to tie a rope around their neck and fall. Something. It's something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. But he says it's better for a person to do that than for a person to offend his flock. Like, the Lord doesn't play with people who plays with them. Like, I won't play with that. I'm sorry. So I'm just saying, like, if your family members are persecuting you, I'm not saying wishing downfall on them, but you have to leave that to the Lord, because he is the one who's going to judge righteously, not you. Okay, you get out the way and you let the Lord handle it. If you need to go to the Lord and you need to cry because something hurt you so bad that they may have said about you, or whatever the case may be, you need to bring that to the Father, and you just go about what you got to do. Do not dwell in sadness. Do not rot in that, because at the end of the day, the Father is a Father of vengeance too. He's a Father of love, but he's also is a Father of vengeance. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember I seen this documentary of this woman talking about how the Lord collects our tears. So everything is being documented down. Okay, so they're going to have to give an account to what they did to you. They're going to have to give an account on why they said what they said about you. They're going to have to give an account why they prayed on your downfall. They're going to have to give an account. So you just do what you got to do, because if you lash back and you do something to them, or you try to get your get back or your vengeance, you're going to have to give an account. So you see what I'm saying? Like, don't fight the fire with the fire. You need to give it to the Lord. I'm going to go to Matthew 12:26. It says, and if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. So how should then the kingdom stand? So just like I was just talking about right there, how can, if you allowing Satan in you and Satan is already on your family member, how you guys, you just fighting Satan with Satan? Okay, like, how can that house stand if you allow evil spirits in you and you matching energy? You get that. That doesn't make no sense. You have to fight with the Lord, because he got that righteous judgment. So now we're gonna go to Matthew 22:59. Never mind on the Matthew. I don't know why I put that. I may have put the wrong thing. But the last verse that I have was Philippians 2:12, which is to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. At the end of the day, this is your salvation, baby girl, and you're gonna have to work out your salvation. I'm sorry to tell you, nobody's gonna save you but you. You have to work on you. Like I said before, you in the other video, you have to love on you. You have to work on you. You have to love yourself enough. You have to love the Father, matter of fact, enough to endure through that fire. Okay? So, let me make sure I'm done with all of my topics. Ooh, y'all. But yes. Yeah, so that's all of my topics. So all praise to the Most High. Now I'm just going to talk about something that I seen on YouTube really quick, and then I'm going to end it out. I'm going to close it out. So I was watching this YouTube. I was talking about this with my mom because I know she watched this girl channel, and this is how I found out about this girl, because my mom watches her. Her name is Zanadia Zamone. Some of you sisters may know her. But she's a sister in the world, you know, but at the end of the day, you know. But anyways, so basically she made a live, and I guess it's been this ongoing thing where her mother was jealous of her. Her mother didn't like her. Her mother went on her live and made a fake page and was like basically persecuting her on her live, like saying stuff about her, saying that she would never be nothing without YouTube, that, you know, she helps the Lord spin a block on her, like wishing on her downfall. Like she was literally talking to her daughter, which is Anadia, like she was a stranger, or like she was beefing with one of her friends. And some of you may go through that. Some of you may have mothers that envy you, that want your life, that for some reason they hate you, either because a lot of times you find this in our community, in the Black people community, is that mothers envy some of their daughters because sometimes they hate the baby dad that they were with, that they had that child with, which is sick. But some mothers hate their daughter because they may have a more successful life than what they did. The mother may have gotten pregnant at a very early age, but her daughter's making out, she's breaking generational curses, and she didn't get pregnant till she got married, till she got older, or whatever the case may be. And you will have some mothers like that. I know sisters, a lot of sisters go through that all the time, where their mother hate them and they envy them and they're trying to bring them down. But what I could tell you is to, first of all, heal. Do not match your whether it's your mother, whether it's your father, whether it's your grandpa, I don't know who it is, whether it's your siblings. You go off and heal. When I was watching that live, I literally about dang near cried, because she was crying and everything, and she was like, this is my own mama. I want a relationship with her. I still love her despite what she said about me, despite that her own mom was trying to call the police on her and put what's the thing called? I can't remember what the thing is called. But for her to not see her siblings anymore, like her mom was like pure evil. Like talking about her like she was a dirty down dog. Okay? And one thing I will say is, first of all, the Lord is watching. For those sisters who's out there hurting because their family members like that is persecuting them, like that sister that I just mentioned about, maybe going through it, just know that the Lord doesn't play. He does not play about that. First of all, he set a parent up as a righteous example to train their child up to serve the Lord. And if you're being a parent that's being used by Satan, what are you good for? And so for those sisters who would have went through family persecutions, I want you to also remember, if you do have children, if you have a daughter or son on the way, do not carry what you went through with your parents onto your kids, because you're just passing generational curses over again. That's going back to the segment where I was talking about generational curses. You're going to have to be the one to break them. Do not carry what you went through to your kids. There's a book that I want to order from this brother in IUIC, and they make a couples channel, and it's called His and Her Lord, if y'all want to go watch their podcast. But he has a book called Trauma Letters, and he talk about trauma a lot. And a lot of the times, when we get adults, for some reason we tend to carry on trauma of how we were treated when we were younger and treat our kids like that. But you're only just carrying generational curses. And if you don't want that to continue in your family, you're going to have to put those feelings behind and heal. Because then your child is going to be suffering from your consequences, because you didn't, as an adult, go heal, and you didn't stop blaming your parents for I'm the way that I am because of my parents. No, so what? Want a better lifestyle for your daughter or your son, to have a male in the household. You go off and heal. You go want to be the better mother that maybe your mother never been. Okay? You be the better grandmother that your mother, you know what I'm trying to say, has not been. You go be it. And stop saying I'm the way that I am because of my family. I'm hurt because of this. Because at some point you don't have to give it up, because you're just going to waste your whole life still being stuck on something that happened 50 years ago. How does that look? It looks stupid, right? I'm not justifying anything that happened to you. I get it. Some of us went through some crazy stuff. I know sisters personally that have went through some stuff that I feel like I probably wouldn't have endured through. But guess what? That's what, going back to the lots. We all have different lots. The Lord knew I wouldn't be able to handle what certain sisters told me what they went through. I couldn't be able to do it. But guess what? He saw them fit to go through it so they could be a testimony to other sisters of what they went through. So with that, I just want to say shalom. And if you sisters have any like topics that y'all want to talk about or any questions, feel free to comment. I'm always open, always a listening ear. And I just want to say shalom, peace and blessings, and Lord's willing, I will see you guys in the next segment.